Blessings, soul family. Welcome to A New You Makeover podcast, Upgrading Human Potential. I'm Megan, and I invite you to join the anti-aging revolution. Before we begin, let's take a moment to connect to our home frequency as we expand our consciousness and become limitless. Let's place our hands on our hearts. Take a deep breath. We ask to resonate in the frequency of eternity as we reflect our new earth reality. Thank you, I love you. It is done. Now let's start living our highest potential. On today's show, we have a special guest, Yvonne Zook. Yvonne has been an esthetician for over 20 years and is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to anything skincare. She has always taken a holistic approach to helping her clients, as well as incorporating energy work into her facials. Yvonne has been doing consciousness work since 2005 and most recently has become a Certified DECU Practitioner. She loves snowboarding, hiking, mountain biking, and visiting any place near the ocean. Her happy place is being in nature. Yvonne, welcome to A New You Makeover.
Thanks, Megan.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just so excited to have you on the show today and talk about all things skincare. I feel like you just have so much information about how to care for our skin while not going kind of the chemical, more treatment route. And so I just think that listeners will love to hear from you. So to kick it off, I feel like we all want to know, how can we naturally nourish our skin?
Well, I've always been attracted to the people that talk more about healing the skin from the inside out. In school, we were taught the normal, like, chemical peels and microdermabrasion, and I would see good results with those treatments in the beginning, but then as it started to wear off, I just noticed the skin not looking as vibrant and healthy. So I began searching for something a little different. And that's where I learned more about, okay, what we put inside of our bodies is a huge reflection of the skin. And so my approach is more about feeding and nourishing the inside of the skin and finding those ingredients and those systems that are going to help to deliver those nutrients deeper down into that dermal epidermal junction, and creating change while just creating change in the skin with causing the least amount of trauma. Because when we traumatize the skin and wound the skin, I've learned that it can only fully repair itself by 90%. And I did learn that for myself in the beginning of when I first started as an esthetician. I went to a class and they did a beta hydroxy acid peel on our faces, and it started to really burn. And I was told that, no, that's good, leave it on, but it ended up damaging an area of my skin. And because the wound never completely heals, I do notice it sometimes. Just the skin is just a different texture. I'm really the only one that really notices it, but it was firsthand from experience. I saw that this was true. And then of course, the eating well and eating a lot of greens and drinking a lot of water, and then finding eternal gold and jewels, and really seeing that our thoughts have such a huge impact on what our bodies and skin looks like from the outside.
So it's so much more than just, a chemical peel or a Botox. It's more from the inside out, is your approach?
Yes, and I think, all those other modalities, we do see amazing results, but they're modalities that only create results for a small period of time. So you're constantly having to go back and do these things. and incorporating the statements as far as the I am statements with the DECU class that we've taken, that's just something so easy to put into your skincare regimen that creates such a huge impact on improving the skin that we can do at home every day when you're out and about, and just saying those statements inside of our heads to tell our consciousness to become higher. It's just something that's more simple.
Absolutely. And for those of our listeners who may or may not know, but Eternal Gold Beauty is a high frequency skincare line. And I know you use it in your salon, Yvonne. And so the idea that our cells hold a consciousness, and so DECU, dermal expression cellular upgrade, you can use an I am statement and you're telling your cells what you want to see. So like if you're looking in the mirror and a wrinkle is driving you crazy, you start to use your skincare products, use an I am statement. I am radiant, I am beautiful. And as you use that, you'll start to reflect and see those fine lines and wrinkles disappear. And it is pretty amazing. I know, Yvonne, are you using these kinds of treatments on your clients in the treatment room as well?
Yeah, I have started introducing it to some of my clients. And, you know, some people are hesitant, and that's okay. Because really, okay, yeah, it's a wrinkle on our face, but there's so much more to it. You know, it is attached to emotions and fears and belief systems that we've picked up along the way since we were born that aren't really serving us anymore. So it's about shifting that old belief system to a new belief system that is going to help us to evolve so much more and not hold us down and impact our skin in that way. So it's kind of like getting rid of the heaviness.
Absolutely. And what I love about that approach versus just like the chemical peel or the Botox is you're just treating the surface. And so you're not taking away those stressors that really created them in the first place. And so this approach, you're nourishing your skin with some clean products while also like using your consciousness work to really evolve and at the same time reflect agelessness.
Yeah. It's so different than what I learned in school, but it's something that I completely resonate with. I just get such an amazing feeling when I'm in the treatment room and I'm allowed to bring in those higher states of consciousness to assist the whole process and the treatment.
Well, and I just have to say, because I'm a huge fan of yours, for those listening, Yvonne gives probably the best facial ever and has a really long wait list to get in with. But I know I've received one from you before when you were doing this work. And at one point, I mean, I was seeing vivid colors. It was just a very out of body, beautiful experience. And I think you come out radiating because I also had some really great products, but it's so much more, as we're saying, than just, you know, putting some products on your face. And you can do it at home. You don't have to seek treatment always. You do this yourself just by using your statements, doing your skincare, and really, I think, just taking care of your skin.
Yeah, it's
you know,
a way of life.
Definitely. So tell us about, you know, your own personal journey. I know you've been an esthetician for 20 years. Your consciousness work, you said, started in 2005. So how did you get to this place where you are now using these kind of more energy work with your facials?
I just wanted to find something that was going to help me move forward in life and be a happier person. And I was definitely making choices that were numbing me and just not allowing me to look at what was really going on. So my daughter was a huge impact on me. When she was about 1 year old is when I started to search for people that would help me to discover like what's going on? Why am I wanting to numb myself? And it was it was fun to find all these different people. Now I look back and think, you know, now I'm in a place where I have this tool that I can do these processes on myself, which is a liberating feeling and so powerful. But along the way, I was very grateful to all the people that helped me to see what truly was going on. And so, yeah, just a lot of different healing modalities. And I'm one of those people that was excited to go to therapy, which just sounds a little strange. And then my husband too, he was kind of, you know, I think we're attracted to those people that are here to show us those parts of ourselves that we've kind of pushed away and we don't love about ourselves. So it's not an easy process, but he was definitely a mirror for me to see what I needed to look at and what wanted my attention. Going to different therapies was actually easy for me by myself, but when him and I went to a talk therapist, that was probably the hardest process, but definitely worth it. Yeah. So.
It's what's I think so amazing is, I mean, would you say you're still on that path? Like you're constantly evolving from when you had your daughter and you kind of started that like process of awakening? I feel like you're a learner, like you're constantly growing and evolving.
Oh yes, definitely. There's always something to learn. I think staying humble is really important, for me at least. Just realizing that I just feel really blessed to be receiving this higher state of consciousness that's really helping me through this process. I mean, I feel like I'm just that channel. It's not really me personally, but it's just me letting go of all those lower densities that's allowing me to be that channel, which we all have. I believe we all have the capacity to do this. It's just a matter of wanting to do it and taking that first step.
Well, and that's such a good point. And I think we all need to remember that. Some of us feel like, oh, we need someone to heal us. But the truth is, all healers are just channels, and we all do the work for ourselves, and we all have the power within ourselves to be that channel and to be that support for someone. I just think that's really pretty amazing to get to a point where you kind of realize, oh, I have the power to heal myself, and we all do. And whether it's a fine line or much deeper, it's all of those things, and it's just what we reflect back out into the world.
Yes. And I think in the beginning, I kind of needed somebody to help me, but then now I'm at this place where I've done the work and I have the tools, and so I know what to do.
Absolutely. That's so awesome. And I know you're a DECU practitioner, and you're doing DECU sessions. And as you do those, I mean, how does that relate to like what you're doing as an esthetician? Are you combining them? How does that feel?
Yes, I combine it in with a facial, and it's just a really relaxing process. But many people have told me how they've been able to release and cry and just kind of let go of some stuff, which I'm not even aware of the fact that they're crying because they're so quiet. But after they come out of the treatment room, it's fun to hear their feedback and their experience from it. I think the hardest part is just continuing the process, because here you've had this amazing treatment, but now take this tool with you and repeat this statement for 21 to 45 days to really see that impact and improvement in your skin and in your whole life. So that's the part that people need to commit to.
Absolutely. I think to really see the difference, I think we get excited or we have this, you have this feeling and you're all for it. And then the days go by and life kind of catches back up with you and it's easy to just let it go. But the truth is, it's such a small commitment to yourself. It's that self-care and it doesn't take long. And, especially for those listening, we want to take care of our skin. And that's why it kind of goes hand in hand with your skincare. It's taking that time out of the day to take care of yourself, both,
Right.
with physical, like putting things on your skin, but emotionally, mentally, taking that time for your consciousness work.
Yeah, it really is a process of just learning to love yourself more and more. And it's so normal to have doubts and tell yourself this isn't working and why am I saying this statement? And that's when it really is, if you push through that, you are gonna see results. It's just a matter of sticking with it.
Absolutely. I was just thinking that as you were saying that. I think we say this a lot when we're doing this work, but you have to like sit in the uncomfortable. You have to be in the unknown. And it's a lot harder than you think because your ego comes in and it's just like, what am I doing? Or this isn't working. And you just it feels easier to walk away. But if you stick with it, you really see the difference.
Yeah. And I think right now we're in this time where, when I started doing this work, it was a slower process. And now I'm feeling like the energy is so much faster. And everyone's stuff is coming to the surface and just kind of crying out for people's attention. And what's so wonderful is that we can move through these lower states of consciousness, this density like anger, fear, resentment, so much more faster than we used to be. So that's exciting because the universe wants us to heal.
That is exciting.
We're
and
ready.
It doesn't have to be complicated, right? Like it doesn't have to be this drawn out process. You just have to commit to yourself.
It doesn't at all.
Yeah.
You just got to be ready and willing to take that step and feel uncomfortable.
Absolutely. Oh, it's been so good talking with you, Yvonne. Thank you. And I want to let our listeners know how to connect with you. So what is can you give us your email address if anyone has questions or wants to reach out?
It's A New You, ANEWYOU, Colorado @iCloud.com.
Awesome. So if you have any questions, you can connect with Yvonne there. You can also find her at eternalgoldbeauty.com in the DECU shop and book a DECU session with her there. You won't get the facial with it, but it's still just as incredible. So definitely check her out there. Yvonne, you are amazing. Thank you for sharing your story and experiences with us today. And before you all go, are you ready to create the new you? Are you ready to transcend beauty and reprogram what it means to age? We invite you to learn more about how you can start resonating in the frequency of eternal youth and join the anti-aging revolution. Visit eternalgoldbeauty.com to find out how you can become the new you. Thanks everyone for joining us today and have a great day.